Welcome back, everybody, to Grand Tactician, Civil War. Gruntpa Gaming is episode 20, our review-only Federal Summer 61 campaign using the a.o.m mod. So, last episode, bit of a surprise for us, as my avatar was wounded in combat, and now Pope has been placed in charge of my former army. Hopefully this is going to be a temporary thing, but sadly the game does not tell you how badly your avatars are wounded, so you don't know how long they're going to be gone. So, don't know how long that's going to last. But we did fight a battle here. We did bash 3 of the 5 rebel corps in northeast Virginia. Actually, it looks like we forced Beauregard all the way back to the valley. But still leaves Johnston's corps as the major threat in the region, and Yarm Peninsula, which is not really actually fought us at all. Johnston's corps is not really much of a threat. It's 14,000 men. We've bled out these armies over here pretty good. We've pretty well bled them out. They are very low on troops. Sadly, after that battle, the Department of Western Florida has made a move against Frederick. There's nothing I can do about it right now. We just do not have the troops to react. The Army of the East is still stuck down here at the new fort that is being constructed. And the Engineer Corps is still out on the Delaware Peninsula building this fort, which is another 6 days away from completion. So, hopefully by June 14th, we can get these boys on the move down here to this fort construction to take it over from the Army of the East and get them moving on up to Frederick to take care of that force there. So I do need them. They are the Shenandoah Valley combat force, so I do need them back up in Frederick and moving into Winchester as soon as possible. We have taken over Marietta, waiting for the readiness of the Army of the Ohio to come back up before I push them down into Charleston, and hopefully break Western Virginia away from the rest of Virginia. Army of Mississippi is on the move. They're still waiting their movement orders, but there is another rebel corps here over at Vanceburg that just finished building a depot, so we're going to try and stop them, because it looks like they're tracking towards the Army of the Ohio. So I want to put a stop to that. I need this army readiness up. Our Mississippi can remain here in northern Kentucky without issue. They're kind of stuck here until the Army of the Ohio does make it to Charleston. So that's not a problem. New Army of Tennessee is 11 days away from forming up. And the Independent Cavalry Corps is 5 days for the division command, but 4 days for its brigades. Okay, so we'll say 5 days for the Independent Cavalry Corps. So these 2 forces may or may not be into action in this episode, or at least on the move to where I need them to go. Once the Army of Tennessee is formed up, they're going to push immediately south into St. Louis, and the Independent Cavalry Corps is going to push into the same location. I may have them head to St. Joseph first, as it looks like Longstreet's Corps, Army of Illinois, might be heading in that direction, so I do want to get the Cavalry Corps there to at least block them. They don't have the numbers to really fight it out with them. So Longstreet has 18,000 men and 30 guns to less than 5,800 cavalrymen and 6 guns. So, and a brand new force too. So it really wouldn't be much of a fight for us. We have taken Fort Hatteras. That has finally fallen to us. So East Coast Squadron is on its way back to New York to refit. I could send them to a closer port, but I decided to send them to New York because that's the biggest port in the area, and it should get them repaired sooner. Hopefully. I'm hoping that's the way it works. I'm not really sure if it does or not, but we'll try it. Once they have repaired and refit, they'll come back down here and take on Fort Macon. Hopefully we'll be able to shut down the ports over here at the Fire Islands. And I think that covers everything. Oh, Tradoc. All right, so new garrison forces. This garrison force for the new fort will be ready almost on time, but not be able to go. First Polish Legion is 14 days away from completion. And instead of reforming these batteries into new forces, I had toyed with the idea of disbanding and reforming them completely. But it looks like the 44th did plus up to a 7th gun. They're not going to be full battalion strength, but they are plussing up in size. So I'm not going to be reforming them completely, just not so I don't lose their experience levels. So the 44th Arty will be back in 3 days. The Whiskey Kegs are 42 days. Jeremy's Crazy X is 31 days. Bangor Bangers are 40 days out. Iowa Blacksmiths are the longest one out. They're 83 days. I really don't understand why they are 83 days. And the first New York is 10 days. So we'll get some of those batteries back out into the armies, hopefully this episode or the next episode. So it looks like the next combat should be over here at Vanceburg. All right, I think that covers everything now. So we're going to jump into the historical record, and I do have a lot for the historical record this episode. So just as a reminder for everybody, these videos are always chaptered, so you can skip around to whichever part you so choose. From the Journal, General Gruntpa, dated 7 June, 1862. Fought another battle against Beauregard on the heights outside of Alexandria. As I had intelligence of 3 of the 5 rebel corps in northern Virginia on their way to the site of the battle, I waited a full day for the arrival of them, in the hope that I could smash all 3, which would clear northern Virginia of their presence and relieve the pressure on the capital. I started the day by having the Irish assault the heights on the rebel left, clear their way to their artillery. While I got this attack underway, Beauregard surprised me and attacked with his center and right on my center and left while they were trying to maneuver to their jump-off points for their attacks. I'm going to hand it to him, as he almost succeeded in surprising and breaking my forces while they were out of formation. The presence of the Gotcha Guard on my extreme left, which was screening for the cavalry, managed to attack the rear of the assault and help break it up just as my forces were beginning to crumble. The cavalry attack in the rear was a massive success and managed to break the morale of the rebel and force them into a panic retreat. The 3rd Rebel Corps arrived on the field later in the day, probably unaware that Beauregard had been forced off already. I had my forces spread to cover several possible crossing points along the Bull Run, and then awaited their arrival. I placed myself with the Irish Division, so I'd be centered on my army, and also to help steady up their morale, as they took a bit of a beating during their assault a few hours prior. The continuation of the fighting was short but bloody, as the rebels tried to force the fort held by the Irish. Unfortunately, I was wounded by one of the last volleys before the rebels fled the field. I do not remember anything from that point, but apparently, I went into a bit of a rage when my sipping flask was hit, and it took a few minutes for my staff to calm me down and point out that I had been wounded. I'm currently resting at the Grand Hotel in the capital, hoping that the doctors tell me that I can return to duty soon. McClellan has placed Pope in charge of my army while I recover. I'm sure that this makes McClellan very happy, as I am now out of his way, and one of his political allies is now in charge. I will wish them the best of luck in trying to control Trump and his cabal, but they deserve each other. That man has become even more annoyingly bombastic since they made that ungodly decision to promote him to Brigadier General. God help my men, since I think these fools will kill them. An article from the Daily Courier, dated June 9, 1862. Union victorious at Second Battle of Alexandria, Fort Hatteras captured. General Gruntpa wounded in battle. After brutal fighting between General Gruntpa and the Confederate forces occurred near the outskirts of Alexandria over the past few days, Union forces were able to secure victory. The battle was fought by General Gruntpa's Army Corps against the Confederate Department of Richmond and elements of the Army of Washington. The brutal fighting was carried out over several days of operation. If rumors are to be believed, General Gruntpa himself was wounded in the battle. The only official report that has been given to the Daily Courier is that Major General John Pope has been placed in temporary command of Gruntpa's runs. We here at the Daily Courier wish General Gruntpa a smooth recovery if he is truly injured, as it is his bravery that has helped his Confederates from fulfilling and conquering our great nation. In other news, Union operation to recapture Fort Hatteras in North Carolina has resulted in the official capture of the fort. This daring raid was carried out over the course of a fortnight by naval and land forces belonging to the East Coast Squadron. Using naval forces for bombardment of the fort as well as transports to bring the Marine Infantry Unit called the Marine Fort Bus to land on the shores near the fort and carry out the battle of sea and land. The fort held out for 2 weeks without support. By the time Union forces had managed to officially boot the Confederate forces from its walls, it barely had any left. Judging by the reports made by our war correspondent, the fort will require significant reworking in order to serve as a strategic defense against Confederate naval forces in the area. News article from the Rainy Day Today, dated 9 June of 1862, by Cornelius Lindwhistle, senior correspondent. Trump triumphs at Alexandria. General Gruntpa wounded, but rising star Donald J. Trump seizes the reins and the glory. Campfire ash still hangs in the humid air outside Alexandria, where one of the fiercest clashes of the spring campaign has just concluded, with an unexpected Union stand led by none other than General Donald J. Trump, our Republican candidate for the upcoming presidential contest, and a man many say has the best military mind not currently in Washington or working in the circus. The battle turned on a dime early Thursday morning when beloved but blustery General Grumpy Gruntpa was felled by what was described as a Confederate pot shot of the most ungentlemanly kind, as General was carted off groaning something about lousy knees and lousy luck. All eyes turned to the flamboyantly uniformed figure who stepped forth from the smoke, General Trump, whose hat bore more gold braid than the regimental treasury could justify. I saw an opportunity, and I took it, because that's what winners do, Trump told the Rainy Day Today, standing beside a still smoldering Confederate cannon in what appeared to be a hand-painted banner reading, "Trump wins again, maybe for the first time." Witnesses recount that with General Gruntpa incapacitated, many expected a full retreat, but Trump instead ordered a strategic advance in reverse, which circled around into a flanking maneuver, later dubbed the Great Turnaround, that scattered the Southern lines. When asked how he formulated the plan, Trump gestured to his head. "I've got tremendous instincts. They're very strong, possibly the strongest ever." Rumors that Trump delayed sending a medic to Gruntpa in order to free up the narrative remain unconfirmed. Soldiers under his command spoke in hushed tones of his daring, his unusual leadership methods, including compulsory midday parades and spontaneous truth of musket rallies, and his self-authored field manual, Art of the Charge. Still, Trump remains humble. "It's not about me," he said, while Justin the Sash had reportedly awarded himself that morning. "It's about the troops and making Alexandria great again." With Gruntpa recovering in a field tent, his beard reportedly still commanding respect, the mantle of hero seems to have settled firmly on General Trump's broad and self-measured shoulders. His campaign tent has been swarmed by telegram boys, photographers, and a few suspiciously well-dressed lobbyists. Whatever happens next, it's a long and terrible war. One thing is certain: the Battle of Alexandria may have wounded a general, but at birth, at least in his own words, a legend. "General Trump, sir, I've got the most wonderful news. You'll want to hear this." "Well, spit it out, Musk. It's not like I have all day to listen to bad news." "It's not bad news, sir. It's glorious news. General Gruntpa was shot today at the Battle of Alexandria." "What? He was shot? He's wounded, you say?" "Oh, just tremendous. Truly tremendous. Finally, the man who's been holding back the entire Union Army gets a taste of reality." "It's quite serious, sir. He's badly wounded. Shot straight through the thigh. They say he felt like a sack of potatoes and immediately demanded whiskey before he even thought to ask for a doctor." What a champion. What a leader. Gruntpa, the man who can't fight a war without a bottle in hand, has finally faced the consequences of his poor decisions. That's what happens when your command strategy is just picking up the best tavern. It's been reported that when they carried him away, he shouted to his aides, "Save the flask," instead of the battlefield map. Of course he did. What else could be more important to General Gruntpa? His liver's been fighting the war longer than the Union Army. I think he said he actually refused medical attention at first, once you get a drink before they bandaged him up. I'm sure he did. He's just too important to go without his whiskey. Why bother saving the Union when you can save a bottle? That's his strategy. Take a sip, take a nap. If only we could put that man on the front lines of enemy camp, we'd win in a week. Shall I send a formal letter, sir? Something along the lines of sincere sympathies for your sacrifice? Oh, you must. Draft it immediately. Make sure it's dripping with insincerity. Tell him the whole nation mourns for a strategic genius, which, let's be honest, is about as much of a legend as his liver is. Should I add a little something extra? Maybe mention that his valor is unmatched, even though it seems his only battlefield victory was conquering a whiskey barrel. Yes, absolutely. Tell him is truly unmatched by any sober man in the army. The entire Union stands behind him, except when he's near a bottle of whiskey. General Gruntpa, the Union is eternally grateful for your heroic contributions to, well, spiritus morale. We will carry on the fight in your honor and in your absence. May the nation remember your sacrifice and your love of liquor. It's beautiful, Major. Absolutely beautiful. Now, when he reads it, he'll know we honor him. In fact, send him a gift, a lovely gift. A whiskey barrel with his name on it, a fitting tribute to a man whose greatest contribution to the war was his capacity for alcohol. I'll get to work on that immediately. Perhaps we should also mention he's being promoted to governor of excessive drinking somewhere remote, like Alaska or Michigan. Yes, perfect. Let him govern the ice and snow. Perhaps it'll freeze his liver long enough for him to finally sober up. Then maybe, just maybe, he could stop making decisions based on what's in this flask. A fitting promotion, General. A true honor. It's perfect. And don't forget, Major, send him a second barrel of whiskey from me. It's the least we can do. The more he drinks, the less he can command. Understood, sir. I'll get to work. God bless America and her sober leaders. Maybe we win this war with or without him, but certainly without the whiskey. Gruntpa will be out of our way, and the real leadership will finally shine through. Tremendous, Major. Truly tremendous. I guess it's time for a meeting with the press. From the Journal, General Tom R. Daywood, in camp near Chicago, Illinois, dated June the 8th of 1862. Under this tattered canvas, by the dim and uncertain flame of my lantern, I take quill in hand, my spirit heavy with sorrow. This day brought a letter, hers, and with it, a final word. Eleanor has departed from Minnesota, the children in tow, and sought refuge beneath her father's roof in New York. She rides with firmness, though I sense the tremor in her hand. She can no longer endure the ceaseless waiting, nor the haunting dread that attends each hoofbeat on the road. The farm, once a place of pride and labor shared, has become her yoke, too great to bear alone. The horses, noble creatures we once raised with joy, now stand as reminders of all that has unraveled. Though the neighbors have offered their kindness, such comfort cannot mend what sorrow has worn thin. I hold no reproach in my heart toward her. How could I? 'Tis I who have asked too much for too long. Her letters, once filled with warmth, have grown weary and dim, as if penned by hands grown cold in the shadows of solitude. It is not she who has turned away, but the war itself, cruel and unrelenting, that has taken her from me. I have resolved, with great reluctance, to part with the farm. I shall write to my solicitor, bidding him to seek an honest man, one who will tend the land with care and show kindness to the beasts therein. Let Eleanor be free of that burden, and perchance find some measure of peace. Yet it wounds me deeply. My children, will they know my face, or remember me only as a distant figure in federal blue, chose his country over hearth and home? I cannot divine what tomorrow holds. This war, so vast and grinding, has claimed men nobler than I. And yet tonight, for the first time, I must ask, if the Union is preserved, but I return to a home now emptied, what triumph shall I lay claim to? This night, I am no commander of men, only a husband, a father, left adrift in the wake of absence. I remain with a troubled heart. Once again, thank you to everybody that submits diary entries, letters home, newspaper articles that do help drive the storyline. Also, I'd like to especially thank Rainy Day Today and Ahmed Vargas, who are two of the main storytellers for this campaign so far outside of my avatar, which has been making it much more enjoyable for me trying to work a storyline around everything. It makes it a lot more fun for me. So, as always, thank you to everyone who gets involved. If you want to get involved with one of your unit stories, just drop them into the unit story section of my Discord and I will add it in. Everybody is allowed to contribute. All right. So we have covered everything thus far. We're going to get this campaign rolling along again. I'm actually way behind on my recording schedule. I'm way behind. I was trying to do just an explainer here. Don't normally do this during the video, but I've been trying to work in a better post editing on these videos, and this video is going to be delayed because of that. But I'm trying to bring a better production value to what we have going on. But I definitely yarned everybody's ears long enough, so I'll be back with the next incident. Alright, it's now June 10th. We do have our next combat here, and it is our Army of the Mississippi going up against the Army of Eastern Tennessee. We're bringing 21,854 infantry, 3,028 cavalry, and 30 guns under command of Buell against Crittenden with 7,076 infantry, 1,944 cavalry, and 10 guns. So he basically has a division-sized element plus some cavalry and battery support. So probably not going to be much of a fight, but let's go jump in there and kick him out of northern Kentucky. Welcome, my grunts, to the Battle of Vanceburg Ferry. We are on the attack, and this is the Copperton battlefield. The rebels are defending back here by Mrs. Stewart's farm. Actually, a really good defense location if the rebels utilize it properly. Even with their limited numbers, this is a very defensible area. So I do have a feeling we're probably going to run into them up here at Copperton itself. So, straightforward plan. Get the cavalry out and scouting, pin down where the rebels are, and then set up for an assault. So, nothing fancy, nothing crazy. We have a massive numbers advantage. So, it's just a matter of finding them and figuring out my attack approach. So, I'll come back in once we have the rebel lines spotted. All right, it's now 17:14, and we have spotted the rebel forces, and they are defending on top of Albridge Road at the Mrs. Stewart farm. So, didn't run into them where I expected to. I've actually had my cavalry out and about trying to find them. I did not actually expect them to be all the way back on the defense points. The AI has not been doing that in the last few battles. My infantry is slowly coming up. So it looks like we're going to be doing this pretty straightforward assault right down the road, I think. So we do have woods, stream bed, marsh over here on their left. We have these woods over here on their right. Actually, this would be a better attack point, coming in through the woods here. And assaulting up to the... Yeah, that's what we're going to do. That is exactly what we were going to do. First infantry. You boys march over to here. And third infantry. You're actually going to assault down the road once the first is in place. I don't think I'm going to have much call for follow-up with the cavalry, but we're going to swing them out. Onto this flank here. We might be able to get them down this open plain and into the rear. Might be a little while if I may not even have this assault set up before the day ends. Probably not. It's already 17:30. Yeah, it only gives us 2 hours of daylight left, so we may or may not get this going today. Oh, there's another brigade out in the woods here. We'll see what happens, but it looks like it's going to be a day 2 morning attack. All right, sadly, and probably smartly, Crittenden has decided to make an overnight withdrawal. So I just sat here for about 2 hours moving my forces into position to get ready for a daylight attack. And as I said, we pretty smartly would decide to withdraw from the battlefield. So there is that. I kind of had a feeling I should have started the assault as soon as my forces started arriving. But I decided to hold off until everybody was up and go for the morning attack. Well, it is what it is. So get back out to the main screen here and see where he's off to. Alright, we're not even going to go through this because, okay, looks like we captured 6 of his men overnight. That's about it. Let's see where he is off to. Speed up the map a bit, get it rolled off. There we go. And he retreated north across the river, really. Well, that is rebel-controlled zone. I think. It is. I don't know why this area is rebel controlled. Charleston shouldn't have control of these areas. All right, we're going to order into an immediate pursuit. And if we catch up to them again this episode, we're going to immediately rush into attack. We may have a problem crossing the river. Here's the Nashville Squadron is in the area. Actually, now that they're moving away, they were moving up towards Marietta. I don't think there's any rebels down here. We're going to move via river to get this done as quickly as possible. Now the Nashville Squadron's array, moving by river down into Point Pleasant, and then over. They can march across to Charleston. Their readiness level is still kind of low, but they should be able to get them there. Is what I'm hoping. Why are you not on scout? All right, it is June 11th, so should be getting close to having some of the new forces in the field. Yep, one more day for the Independent Cavalry Corps, which means Army of Tennessee is probably 3 days behind. Oh, another 8 days behind. My bad. We're getting forces in the field where I need them. We're getting there. I'll be back with the next incident. Alright, it's now June 13th, and we once again managed to run down the Army of Eastern Tennessee on the John Crittenden. He did not go very far. He's just across the river from the Vanceburg Ferry. So, basically 1 day forward from where we were. So, I'm not going to go over the numbers again. We just did that. So, we're going to jump on in here and run this bastard to ground. We know we don't want to fight. So, as soon as we have any of our forces in range of him, we are going to engage and lock him down. Welcome, my grunts, to the Battle of the Ohio River. Well, as I said, we once again running down Crittenden, and actually we're on the defensive. So they did come back at us, probably because they were trying to retreat south of the river, and we managed to block them. So they have to get past us to escape, is basically what it comes down to. So we're defending back here at Stonebrook Orchard over here. And I just set up my divisions left to right. 3rd Infantry Division with the Blackbeards, 5th Siamese Rifles, and the Penny Brigade on my left. 5th's in the center. I don't know if we're actually going to end up using them or not, but they have the Nolchucky Legion, Yorkshire Republican Abolitionists, and the 6th Royal Australian Rifles. with the 1st Infantry Division on the right, with the 1st German Rifles and the 6th Mass Volunteer Infantry. The new infantry brigade that's being raised will be going into this division here. Cavalry sitting reserve along with Mansfield's 1st Illinois Engineers, as he's still working on his engineer perk level. So he's just going to be back here building breastworks until they get their level 3. All right, pretty straightforward. Just going to wait for them to show up and hopefully cause as much damage as possible and just force the core to disintegrate, possibly. All right, it's now 6:15 in the morning. We do have our first eye on rebels. We have the 31st Tennessee Cavalry coming down the road at our 1st Infantry Division. Moving quite fast. There you go, slowing down now. We do have dust trails coming through town. Back over this way. Sounds like more cavalry over here. So they're coming in from multiple directions. But, 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't think these boys had breakfast yet. So hopefully they come on in and we can share them some hot lead breakfast. That looks like Culloden's Revenge gets first shots of a battle. Actually, we'll put these guys on fire will also. Yeah, Sheridan, get behind your men, please. All right, 1st Germans, get ready to stand up, boys. And 6 mass. Stand up, boys. There we go. Nice and easy seeing those boys off. Lose anybody? Yep, 11 losses in the 1st Germans, it looks like. They did get some shots off. Play back down, and it looks like we got some more cavalry coming in down here. Vedettes just ran into the infantry. 2 brigades cavalry down here. The 4th Tennessee, and I don't see the other one. All right, Penny, stand up. And Siamese, stand up. Who's that coming down the road behind? 1st Confederate States Regiment of Cavalry. Looks like the cavalry is moving off. And for the Nola Chuckies. They're looking for a better spot. Or they're just going there and waiting for the arrival of the... They might be waiting the arrival of the rest of them. Not a good spot for them to be standing. Nice some artillery. Are they riding right at my artillery? Is that what they're doing? Benny, stand up.
Quiet in the ranks.
Get someone.
Keep calm, boys. Soon enough, we'll see the elephant.
I don't want you going all the way up there.
Forward, steady. Any time now, men. Sergeant.
Move.
They're right at the edge of us. I really don't want to advance out, but let the artillery do its work. I don't want to break their morale too soon. I want to see the rest of their forces come up. They're already down to 36 morale. They did not start with a lot of morale as they retreated from the last fight.
Stay down. Keep that head. Stay down, boys. Keep that. Stay down, boys. Yes, Sergeant. Run, Johnny, run. Run the gun up.
Not what I want.
Wait and see. What? Oh, I stepped in manure. Very good order.
Looks like they got artillery in the lead here, and it's road jamming the infantry all behind them. It looks like I'll be a few minutes still, so I'll be back. Alright, it's now 11:07. We do have the rest of their forces coming into view now. You got Knoxville Brigade, Wathall's Brigade, Rutgers Legion, Caswell Artillery, and Rutledge's Battery showing up now. I think we have most of their forces in view at this point. Looks like we're doing a good job on Rutledge's Battery over here. You got the Preston's Brigade. You ready to stand up, boys?
Lie down. Observe that flank, soldier.
You're already firing at us. Stand up.
Sergeant, any word from the commander?
They got longer range weapons than we do. Advance. Get right on line with them. Do not pursue. Do not pursue, Siamese. Damn it, Sickles. And it is Sickles, so.
I'll cover. On me. Keep up, men.
You boys not moving forward. Oh, get your men moving. Get up on the screen bed, boys. No choice. Advance and engage before they break off. Give me UYRs. That's a double. They're breaking off. Damn it, Sickles. I wanted to break this force completely. You kind of screwed that up on me. There they go. Cavalry, let's go. Only got an 8% of them. We should be able to get more than that. Look at the Hoosiers doing some alacrity. Get those guns. Lightning Brigade, get in there. Come on, Lightning Brigade, get through that infantry line. Get in there. Hoosiers, get up to Charleston. Damn it, ran out of time. Alright, very short fight there. We knew it was going to be one. I was hoping to grab more of their force than we actually did. So we took down 650 of their 7,500 infantry, 550 or 2,100 cavalry. We got 10 or 15 guns. So lost 1,200 of their 10,000 men. We lost 202 of our 21,914 infantry, 102 of our 3,040 cavalry. Total loss of 308 men because we got some advanced staff were hit. Alright, time to go through the reports. We are going to do another battle for this episode. I will break the rule because this one was more of a skirmish than anything. Alright, engineers did not fight. 1st Cavalry Division, Hoosier Horsemen did 16 infantry, 10 artillery, captured 26 for a total of 52. Missouri Home Guard did 90 to infantry, captured 15, 7 artillery for a total of 112. And the Lightning Brigade did 10 to infantry, division total 174. Losses: Hoosier Horsemen, 7 dead, 35 wounded, 5 missing for a total of 47. Aggregate strength of 947, 5% casualties. Missouri Home Guard, 2 dead, 35 wounded, 5 missing, total 42, aggregate strength of 987, 4% casualties. Lightning Brigade, 12 wounded, 1 missing, aggregate strength 1004, 1% casualties. 3% casualties for the division. 1st Infantry Division, 1st German Rifles did 79 to cavalry, and 6 mass volunteers did 109 to cavalry. I know they took some losses. Yep, 1st German Rifles took 1 dead, 9 wounded, 1 missing, total 11. Basically 0% casualties. Their aggregate strength 2,676. 3rd Infantry Division, Blackbeards did 40 to infantry, 46 to cavalry for a total of 806. Correction, 86. 5th Siamese Rifles did 191 to infantry, 66 to cavalry, 10 artillery for a total of 267. Penny Brigade did 1 to infantry, 110 to cavalry for a total of 111. I mean, Sickles, I didn't need him to keep advancing the way he did. But Sickles is going to be Sickles, so. Yeah, probably got the most kills of everybody, but kind of ruined my plan. Division total 464. Losses, Blackbeards, 0 killed, 7 wounded, 2 missing, total of 9. Aggregate strength, 2,133. 5th Siamese Rifles, 8 dead, 76 wounded, 14 missing, total of 98. Aggregate strength, 2,621, 4% casualties. Penny Brigade, 1 dead, 9 wounded, 1 missing, total 11. Aggregate strength, 2,637, 0% casualties. 118 for the division, 1% casualties. 5th Infantry, Nolichucky's got 40 infantry on the pursuit, and the Yorkshire Republican Abolitionists got 43 infantry on the pursuit. And Nolichucky's lost 5 dead, 55 wounded, 4 missing, for 64, aggregate strength 2,036, 3% casualties. And the YRA's lost 8 wounded, 1 missing, total 9, aggregate strength 2,072, 0% casualties. And 2nd Arty Division, the Irish Creamers did 78 to infantry, 47 to cavalry, 24 to artillery, total 149. Good job, boys. And Culloden's Revenge did 3 to infantry, 29 to cavalry, 16 artillery, total 52. And let's see if they took any counter battery. Irish Creamers took a little counter battery, lost 2 dead and 2 missing, probably pink misted. Aggregate strength 221, 2%. 4 men's, 2% casualties. Yeah, I mean, they're not big formations, so. I don't think we lost any officers. I wasn't really looking for it. Does not look like we lost anybody. Let's see if we got any of the rebel officers. Colonel Bartu at 31st Tennessee Cavalry is wounded. Your Rooker's Legion's a standalone. Morton's Division with 1 brigade. Nobody. Knoxville Division. We only got the 1 officer, amazingly. We got older units into the Knoxville Division here. They need to spread that out a little more. Morton's Division, led by Major General, has got 1 brigade. Knoxville Division, led by Brigadier, has got everything. Make sense of that one, if you will. I get close out here, and I'll see you all at the newspaper screen. Victory at the Ohio River. No, General Slade became a national hero out of that one, and they blamed the loss on the poor old colonel for the rebels. Battle of the Ohio River has ended with the Army of Eastern Tennessee retreating in panic. The Army's reported suffered total casualties of 1,177 men. There were 195 killed and 234 captured. Our casualties totaled 308 men, with 26 killed, 36 missing, and the rest wounded. We captured 566 rifles and 4 guns from the field and sent 220 soldiers off to our prison camp. Like I said, we're going to keep this going for another battle because it looks like we have another one coming up because this one was really short. And it looks like the Army of the Ohio is coming back into contact with the Army of Ohio. So hit play here and I'll keep this map rolling. This might be a different outcome here. We do have low readiness with this force. Says the river squadron that was here was up in Marietta and then came back down this way, so it gave me the chance to move down the river, so I took it. I need you boys moving back to Covington. Let's empty that depot out. Now, are they going to fight? Now, this would have been a better fight for the Ohio River because the Army of the Ohio versus the Army of Ohio at the Battle of the Ohio River. That would have been a great damn title for this video. Let's see if they're actually going to fight us. I don't know if their readiness is up enough for it. There we go. And we only have a slight advantage on them. But this is the battle for West Virginia, or the state of Kanawha. All right, bringing 21,044 infantry, 1,714 cavalry, and 16 guns under John Dix, going up against the Army of Ohio under command of Patrick Claiborne and Greg's Corps, with 20,931 infantry, 0 cavalry, and 17 guns. Now, let's get in there and let's see if we can't help these Federalists and Unionists in the Western Virginia area get their freedom from the Confederacy. Welcome, my grunts, to the Battle of Charleston, Virginia. We are on the Carnifex Ferry map. Actually, Carnifex Ferry is right here. It's actually the battle site here. Everybody knows this map. This is a rough map to move around on. This is, if you've ever been to West Virginia, this is the Carnifex Ferry area. I can't remember the name of the river off the top of my head. It's the Gully River. I don't remember what the offshoot is. But this is some rough terrain, and this map is very accurate to that. This is really what it looks like in this area. So it takes a long time to get moved around on this map. We did not start out with the best starting point for this map. So I would kind of tuck back in over here. Probably could start my men here and bring down this road, but I think this is the better passage is over here. And we are attacking Mount Lookout. So it's already 1,300. We are not going to get this attack started today. It's going to take too long for our forces to get there, begin an attack. I'm hoping to at least make the cross the river by the end of the day. Is what I'm hoping for. And hopefully the rebels are back here and not defending down at one of the crossing points, because that'll just make this a hellacious attack. It'll be a mother get across. Hopefully the AI does not do that, because I would, but even I actually don't defend the crossings on this map. It's even defending them's a pain in the ass. The way this map is set up, it's just not. You really just can't fight in these areas with large troop formations. So, going to get these troops on a move, and looks like it'll more than likely be a day 2 attack, because it's going to take forever to get across. All right, we've now entered day 2, and I have just got myself across the river. Yeah, it's been a long march to get here. We still don't have the rebels sided, but need to get my cavalry back out again. So I'm thinking they are formed up back on Mount Lookout. Thankfully, they weren't guarding the crossings like I would have been, but yeah, it took a long time. This map is just not good for moving around on. And what the hell are you doing all the way back here? Damn it. Need you to get up here. Put you up behind that farmhouse. See how long it takes for him to get here. Yeah, I'm getting kind of worried about making this assault. Our morale is not good. We're at 41 to their 56. I'm hoping that we can kind of settle in on an edge and break them brigade by brigade, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Yeah, see how they set up first. So that's going to be a while yet, judging by where my corps commander is and how long it's going to take orders to get out. So I'll be back. All right, it's now a little after 6 a.m. We do have the rebel side, and they are set up right behind the town of Mount Lookout here. And this is not going to be an easy assault. They are spread out basically in a single line up on their right flank. So I do have, I think it's the 6th Infantry, the 4th Infantry Division on its way over there. We're probably going to start our attack from up in this direction and follow on with the center line attack from the 6th Infantry and left flank attack. Oh no, 2nd Infantry is going to be center, and 6th is going to be left flank, or a little off center here. I'm just not liking our options. This is not a good attack position. A lot of fence lines to get through. Will offers cover. They're going to have cover also. Their morale is much higher than ours. And they have a lot of batteries to our 1 battery. So we have the battalion guns, but they have a lot of smaller batteries spread throughout the line, which tear down the 1 battalion pretty quickly. We had a bunch of men run away overnight. I didn't even look at that. We had 329 men desert overnight. And the rebels didn't lose a single man overnight to attrition. So I'm really not looking forward to this assault. This is not going to be easy. It's a matter of breaking them one at a time. Probably with these Arkansas troops out on the left flank would be the easiest place to break them. We'll see what happens. So probably about 8 a.m. by the time my troops are in position for an attack. All right, it's now 7:25 and the fighting has begun. Delco Fencibles just broke on me. Their morale was pretty low to begin with. Nothing I can do about that. And it looks like you're trying to push a brigade or a small division, Greg's division, up onto my center division here. Thankfully, I do have another division on the left. And it sounds like some firing started on the right now. Oh, you guys have some very long-range weapons. Okay, that's fine. We'll work with that. I got something for that flank. Second mass, let's get pushed up over here. At least get on these heights. Cheeseheads, I want you on the side of the stream. How's my artillery doing? Taking some kind of battery fire. They are laying it out also. I don't know how well they're laying it out. Burst bands, move to double, please. Need you in position as quickly as possible. Iron Brigade. It's going to be a little more all over the place than I expected. I'm just on Civil Warrior. Double time, please. Second mass, I need you moving out to double. Lay down so I'm ready for you boys. Kind of in low ground, so they should have some cover. Looks like they're focusing on them, so breast bands now, which is good. Breast bandage going to advance right. Some weird directions there. Wait for them to finish their maneuver. They're going to advance right up onto this fence line, push out these 2 smaller regiments. Are they coming forward to attack me en masse? Alright, they're shifting. This could be an issue. They're throwing off my attack plans. Advance, boys. Tie them down. They're going for the center, which is my weakest spot right now. Why would you go... What the hell's going on over here? Stop messing about. I think they're glitched. Broke the 3rd CS. We're now a large organization. No, 50 men left. I have 100. The way these rebels are moving, they have me a little confused. They are throwing everybody at the center. There's a lot of smaller organizations, so hopefully that helps. Log Mollies, get this mounted. Loose order. Advance on those guns. Dillard, come out this way, please. Our brigade, get behind them at the double. You guys done messing about? We are. I'll wait for those whole orders to get to me first. This is not good. May work to our advantage over here on this one, though. Armed guards, catch up. Brigades, just a tiny regiment, break them. Look at mass advance in. There we go. Get these boys shoved out of the way. Let's go. I know I gave you orders to move. What the hell happened? Oh, wait, no. I'm holding off on those orders. Advance on them, boys. Advance. Turning this around. There we go. Break those guns. Chesters, keep on them. Heads, you're missing out on the fun. Constitution's getting ripped up. Come on, boys. Just one tiny regiment. Get rid of them. They got themselves down a bowl here. It's beautiful. And Hammer's broke. Their morale was not too good to start the fight either. Wasn't done there good. All right, cavalrymen pushing. Hard advance. Some of the bigger formations are back here. They didn't even get into the fight. Oh, over 700 casualties in the Constitution. Oh. This is one bloody battle. Ooh. We're gonna move good. Push in harder. You should have held your line and not moved advanced against me. It worked in my favor. Bloody fight, but it worked in my favor. Those advance orders out, damn it. They are withdrawing. Boys moving up double, please. Get behind them. I'm not going to mount the cavalry up for pursuit. Their morale's probably too low for it. You have them at 17% casualties. Can we get that 19? Probably not. Catch these brigades, we probably can do it, but I don't think so. that we are definitely going to be stuck here at Charleston for a while after this fight. Rochester, you can get these boys. There we go, gun them down. No, not getting it. That's a shame. Ooh, that was a tight fight. Went fast, but it was a tight fight. And bloody. Alright, we took down 3,700 of Cleyburn's 21,000 infantry. He had no cavalry on the field. Got all 15 of his guns. Total loss of 3,900 of his 21,000 men. We lost 2,210 of our 21,039 infantry. 94 of our 1,713 cavalry. Our battery broke at some point. I didn't even notice it. But they were taking counter battery fire themselves. Total loss of 2,334 of our 22,985 men. Alright, combat reports. Engineers did not bring them into the fight because I had them doing leveling up their engineer levels. Probably should have brought them up. I totally forgot about them. I probably should have brought them up. That would have been helpful. Hog Mollies did 376 infantry, 12 artillery for total 391. Diller's Black Hussars did 72 infantry, 6 artillery for total 78. Division total 469. Losses: Hog Mollies 13 dead, 40 wounded, 26 missing, total 79. Aggregate strength of 801, 9% casualties. Diller's Black Hussars 0 killed, 4 wounded, 11 missing, total of 15. Aggregate strength of 818, 2% casualties. 94 for the division. 2nd Infantry Division, Constitution Brigade, did 551 infantry, 2 to artillery for total 557. The UCW did 834 to infantry, 50 to artillery for total of 893. Delco Fencibles did 13 to infantry, and that's it. They were broken by a skirmisher unit, but their morale was already garbage. Losses: Constitution Brigade 98 dead, 561 wounded, 109 missing, total 768. Aggregate strength of 1,083, 41% casualties. The UCW 49 dead, 327 wounded, 76 missing, total 452. Aggregate strength 2,029, 18% casualties. Delco Fencibles 10 dead, 56 wounded, 150 missing, 216 losses, aggregate strength 2,240, 9% casualties, 1,436 casualties for the division, 21% for the division. 6th Infantry Division, Harem Guards did 134 to infantry. 2nd Mass did 385 to infantry, 38 to artillery for a total of 423. Cheesehead Infantry did 129 to infantry, plus the 133 to cause some command staff there. Total of 690 for the division. Losses: Harem Guard 11 dead, 70 wounded, 13 missing, total 94. Aggregate strength of 887, 10% casualties. 2nd Mass 16 killed, 35 wounded, 41 missing, total 92. Aggregate strength 2,345, 4% casualties. Cheesehead Infantry 17 dead, 33 wounded, 44 missing, total 94. Aggregate strength 2,459, 4% casualties. Harem Guards definitely have to get sent home over the winter. They are getting pared down. Total losses of 280, 4% for the division. 4th Infantry, Iron Brigade West did 371 to infantry, plus up to 374. Rochester Racehorses did 303 to infantry. And Brass Bandits did 220 to infantry, 897 for the division. Losses: Iron Brigade, 30 dead, 174 wounded, 43 missing, total 247. Aggregate strength of 1,998, 11% casualties. Rochester Racehorses, 13 dead, 100 wounded, 22 missing, total 135. Aggregate strength 2,259, 6% casualties. Brass Bandits, 5 dead, 48 wounded, 29 missing, total of 82. Aggregate strength 2,286, 3% casualties. 464 losses for the division, that's 6% of their strength. 3rd Arty Division, which is just the one battery for right now, did 69 to infantry, 6 to artillery, for a total of 75 losses, 10 dead, 10 wounded, 10 missing, total of 30. Aggregate strength 203, that's 13% of their men. All right, I don't think we had any of our commanders wounded. I didn't see anything pop up. I might be wrong. Let's double check that. I'd be surprised if we didn't have a single wounded commander. And we have no wounded commanders, okay. We did wound Claiborne. Claiborne's out of action. Colonel Cummings, wounded of the 1st Tennessee Infantry. Brigadier General Walker, Walker's brigade, out of action. There we got 3 other officers, one of them being the Army commander himself. That probably gave us the morale win. I'll get closed out of here, and I'll see you all at the newspaper screen. Victory at the Battle of Charleston. Army of Ohio fleeing in panic. Looks like General Rains took the blame on the loss for this fight. Love it when I see an actual general take the blame. Should have been Claiborne or Gregg, but we'll take it. Battle of Charleston is empty. The Army of Ohio retreating in panic. The enemy's reported suffered total casualties of 3,855 men. There are 561 killed and 1,325 captured. Our casualties total 2,334 men, 272 killed, 604 missing, and the rest wounded. Captured 1,491 rifles and 4 guns from the field and sent 1,228 soldiers off to our prison camp. How many are in there now? It is up here at Columbus, I think. Yep. We have 8,400 in there of the 7,500 we can hold, so we are going to parole them all. Thanks for your stay at Camp Chase Hotels. Let's get this one rolled off. Take a look at our newer division. Nope, Independent Cavalry Corps looks like it is ready to go. And they are. We are immediately sending them river and rail to St. Joseph. And Army of Tennessee's got 5 days left until they form up. It's up a little bit because you got to wait for this battle to roll off. It's a 2-day fight. And actually, what's going on back here in Maryland? They're about to flip Frederick. There's only 7,000 men in the Department of Western Florida. And the fort on the Delaware Peninsula is finally done. Fort Slocum is its name. All right, boys. You need to get down here as quickly as possible, take over from the Army to the east. So I can get them back up to Frederick and into Winchester where they belong. And how are we looking on my grunts? Everybody's flash. Morale's not too good. Awareness is down in the orange. So they'll be able to fight a defensive fight, but they won't be able to take an offensive anytime soon. 48 days for full readiness. That's actually not too bad. My fleet has finally made it up to New York. Let's get you in harbor. Get those ships repaired. How long on that for? 67 more days. You guys leaving? They are leaving. I'm not sure where they're leaving to, but they are leaving. I don't think we can move into Charleston. No, we are stuck in position for now. I was hoping to get into Charleston, but we're not going to make it. It's not even giving me a timeline of how long it's going to take for them to get ready. It looks like Hampton's Corps is making another move on Covington. The Army of Mississippi on ways back to it. All right. It looks like we're going to end this episode here. Broke my rule for the one battle per episode, but that first one was really, really short. The second one was kind of short too. It was not short for me. It took a long time to get those forces in position in both battles. Nothing happened in the first one. That really pissed me off. But yeah, I definitely need to end this here. This video is not making it out on time for Monday, I don't think. So once again, if you're new viewer, return viewer, you're not yet subscribed, please think about hitting that subscribe button. If you do, have that bell icon so the next video comes out. Follow along in the series and enjoying it. Don't forget to bayonet that like button, butt stroke that comment section. And I will see you all at the next episode. Stay grumpy.